Hi, I'm Jason Fry, Director of Technical Marketing for BMC Software. And today, I'd like to give you a brief overview of BMC's newest solution, the BMC Cloud Lifecycle Management Solution. Our Cloud Lifecycle Management Solution is part of a larger BMC strategy for cloud computing. At BMC, we're working to design a comprehensive and integrated solution for organizations who are building and running their cloud environments. Our solution is designed to enable both service providers to manage and offer public cloud services, as well as enterprises to manage and operate their private clouds. And then, of course, the ability for both enterprises and service providers to operate in a hybrid cloud model where they're managing resources inside their private firewall from a public cloud point of view and external in a public cloud. And then finally, the BMC software solutions also run as a software as a service in the cloud. Today, I'd like to walk you through the BMC Cloud Lifecycle Management Reference Model. This is at the core of the demonstration that we're going to see. And at the center, we see that we start with the BMC Atrium CMDB technology. This is where we store all the configuration information about your cloud in our database. We enable you, as the operator of the line of business, to create and maintain different services in your service catalog, representing the various cloud offerings that you want to offer to your organization. Once those offerings have been defined, your customers can log in to a self-service portal and automatically select from this set of offerings that exists in your catalog. Once an offering has been selected, the Service Request Management System will automatically route that request to our automation platform to provision those resources through automated provisioning and management out to your cloud environment. And you will notice that we have the ability with our solution to provision servers, networks, storage, applications, and database layers as part of your cloud offering. Once the system has been provisioned, we'll enable your organization to continually operate and govern your cloud resources in your environment using the well-known BMC tools for service configuration management, service automation, proactive performance management, and configuration management. And then finally, once a user has been using a cloud resource for a period of time, the system will automatically notify them when that service resource is about to meet its expiration date, as you've defined as the operator of the cloud. This enables your organization to maintain and manage the complete life cycle of your cloud environment. Now I'd like to do a demonstration of the BMC Cloud Lifecycle Management Solution from the point of view of your customer as they log into your self-service portal and request offerings from your catalog to provision new server instances in their environment. So now I'd like to walk you through the process of an end user requesting a new server instance from your cloud environment. You'll note that in the BMC solution, the user simply logs into a web-based interface where they are presented with a list of servers that they've previously provisioned in your environment. In the case of this user, they have a single server, Demo 57, that was previously provisioned and that it's operating some business function for this particular user. If this user would like to add an additional server to this resource group, they simply select the new server shortcut from the menu bar, and they're presented with a catalog of servers and server instances and offerings that are available to them in this environment. You'll note that there are requestable offerings that are as simple as an enterprise Red Hat Linux instance and as complex as a multi-tier SharePoint server edition. For this demonstration, we'll simply select a new Windows 2003 instance with an enhanced service offering and very quickly complete the request. And you'll note that now we just capture a couple of final details from the user as they complete the request. First, we ask them which group they would like this server to be joined to, in this case the demo group. The system will automatically populate the prefix, and you'll note that the date desired is grayed out in this instance because it's a pre-approved change. But in other instances, the user may choose to enter a date in the future by which they would actually like this server to be provisioned. This will enable you and your users to plan for capacity in your cloud environment. You'll note that in every instance, the user is offered and required to enter an expiration date for the server instance. This expiration date enforces the lifecycle management of the server in your environment and allows you to reclaim unused resources in your cloud, saving your organization money. The user will be automatically presented with an email telling them that this server is about to expire on or about August 31st of 2010. The user then can provide a password that they would like to use to access this environment, and then choose a system location to have this server deployed to. In this case, our Phoenix data center. When the user proceeds through the wizard, they are presented with a summary screen that shows them all the selections and offerings that they've chose and the cost of that offering as they've configured it. The user simply submits this request into the automation system, and as part of their submittal, they receive a ticket back that they can use to track with their help desk, if needed, the status of the request in the environment. However, you'll note that the BMC Cloud Lifecycle Management solution will automatically bring the current status of this requested server resource back to the user in the My Services portal. We'll note that Demo 59 is in the process of being approved for provisioning. In this case, the system will analyze the system resource requests and automatically approve this request for the user if there are resources available in the environment. And as we can see now, the system has moved into the provisioning state and will automatically be provisioned for this user in the environment. And we'll come back in a couple of minutes and take a look at the server. While this server is actually provisioning, the user can choose to do other actions and options in the environment. For example, the user may choose to power off Demo 57. You'll note that your users can take action on servers in the environment. So in this instance, if the user wished to power off Demo 57, they would simply choose the power off action and click on Execute. The system will notify the user of their action and allow them to take an acknowledgement and then proceed with the actual powering off of this server in the environment. What's important here is the actions that are presented back to your end users are controlled by you as the IT organization. You can choose to offer more actions such as backup, snapshot, recovery, or other actions that may be specific to your cloud environment, or simply stick with the offerings that we provide to this user at this level of service. Simple actions such as power on, power off, and creating more server instances like the one that they're operating on. So we'll note that as when we refresh our display that the system is commencing power off. Not only is the system automating the process of powering off this server instance, regardless of where it's running in your cloud, it is also tracking that change against your change management system. This gives you a full audit trail of every action taken by a user in the environment so that you can reconcile any changes or any conflicts in the environment at a later date. So once the system is powered off, we'll notice that the activity status has moved to stopped, and we can simply, as a course of action, just go ahead and power the system back on. While the system is powering on, I'd like to show you some more details about the ability for a user to request a new server instance in the environment. So again, we'll go to the Request Wizard instance. The user is presented with a list of requestable offerings. From this requestable offering list, they can choose a pre-configured stack, in this case, the Windows 2003 Standard Edition. This instance, as we see, has been pre-approved by the IT organization so that the user does not have to get additional approvals to request this application stack in the environment. The user can choose the size of the offering. In this case, we'll choose an enhanced offering. And instead of completing the request at this point, we'll walk through the additional options that BMC's Cloud Lifecycle Management solution provides for users in your environment as they request new server resources. You'll note that this user is presented with the ability to deploy 2 additional application stacks on top of the Windows 2003 instance. For this demo, let's go ahead and deploy the Apache, MySQL, and PHP stack by simply clicking on the Add button and having that application stack added into the environment. You, as the administrator, can control which application stacks are made available to the end users, and the users have the flexibility of adding or subtracting application stacks from the core offering in the catalog. This is a distinct difference for the BMC Cloud Lifecycle Management solution over other technologies in the space, as we offer the flexibility for you and your users to choose the exact configuration that they need without having to go through extra configuration steps after the system has been cloned or deployed on an image basis in your environment. Additionally, when the user clicks on the Next button, they're taken to the Options tab. Each of these options can be configured by your organization to operate in the manner that you choose. So for example, if the user were to turn on monitoring in the environment, the system would automatically deploy the BMC Proactive Performance Monitoring Agent, or the BPPM system. In your organization, you may choose to deploy your monitoring or your instrumentation as needed based on any configuration setting that you can define for monitoring configuration in your environment. In addition, the user is presented with the list of compliance policies that they may want this server instance to comply with. Out of the box, we provide CIS, PCI, and SOX compliance scan policies, along with a multitude of other regulatory and security policy configurations and scans that are available for you to publish and make available to your users in the catalog. Additionally, your organization may choose to customize an existing policy or create a new regulatory, compliance, or operational policy to meet your organization's operational or vertical needs. Finally, the user has the ability to enable remote access to this server instance. Again, your organization may choose to limit the method and the means by which a user can access a cloud resource in your environment, or in the case here, allow the user to actually make those decisions for themselves. Again, we'll go ahead and choose the RDP 3389 port for this particular offering. And finally, we're taken to our request details, where the user is presented with the simple request that we have. So we'll add this system again to our demo stack. The prefix name is automatically populated. We'll choose an expiration date, a password, and then the system location that we'd like to have this resource deployed to. The user is given the ability to review their request, and it can be submitted, and a ticket is provided back to the user that they can use to track the status of the request. And we'll note that the system is in the user's My Services portal immediately available for them to use and operate on. And so in a second, this system will also start provisioning, just much like Demo 59 did. Finally, the user from the My Services portal can be entitled to change other configuration options about the running servers in their environment. So for example, on Demo 57, if I were to choose this offering and decide that I need more memory on this particular resource, I can simply come down, modify the memory resource instance, and let's say we'll take this from 1 gigabyte of memory to 2 gigabytes of memory. And when I save this, the system will again alert the user that they're about to modify the configuration of a server, allow them to acknowledge that change, and you'll note that in the activity status, the system will move to modify server instance. So as we can see, Demo 59 has created successfully in our environment. Now that the system has been created, the requester can actually very simply connect to the environment. You'll note that we provide the IP address and connection information to this environment. In this case, we're asking the user to RDP into this particular server. So we'll bring up RDP, and we'll go ahead and we'll connect into the server, and we can see that our Windows 2003 server instance has successfully provisioned, and the user can access the environment to do whatever functions they need to do in this particular server instance. You'll also note that Demo 57 has successfully updated its configuration and now has 2 gigabytes of RAM available in the environment. And our activity status represents this in the activity status update. From here, the user can choose to take other options in the environment. So in conclusion, we've seen how easy it is for a user to request a new server instance in the environment, modify that server's configuration settings, take actions such as power on, power off, or to create more server instances in the environment. And once the user has completed the use of that particular server, we saw that the user can very simply request the retirement of that server from their server list. So with that, I'd like to thank you for joining us today, and I look forward to talking with you again about the BMC Cloud Lifecycle Management Solution.